I've been listening to a podcast about America's national parks that always ends with the Woody Guthrie lyrics, "This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me." A podcast that reminds me of how connected we are. In the 1860s, that connection was tested by the Civil War and specifically spoken of by President Lincoln in the Gettysburg Address. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. The 1960s saw a new struggle as civil rights marches, protests, and freedom rides pushed this country to confront discrimination and racism. We are familiar with the words, "I have a dream," from Martin Luther King's speech in August of 1963. But let me share the concluding words of that great speech. King says, "And when this happens, and when we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, 'Free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.'" Sadly, it feels as though we are now engaged in a new struggle. I will not get political here, but allow me to say that between mask arguments, coronavirus relief package debates, U.S. postal controversy, political conventions, and the upcoming election, it's been a long time since our country was this tense. That tension brought to mind a schoolyard parody of the Woody Guthrie song. The lyrics were changed by school kids to say, "This land is my land, this land ain't your land. If you don't get off, I'll blow your head off. I've got a shotgun and you ain't got one. This land was made for me, not you." And several of us would sing that little ditty and then giggle at how silly we were. Sadly, the lighthearted nature of the schoolyard has been replaced with angry individuals proclaiming a much deadlier and real version of the song. And so I take a photo, taken in the beautiful and strong country, a reminder to me and you that this is our country, that the struggles to create a better country are necessary, that we are one people, stronger together as we care for one another, and the country that we call the United States of America.